Mohan Kaul, thank you very much for talking to Business Spectator. Now you're here, of course, for CHOGM, which is in Perth in late October. When did Australia last host CHOGM, and what does it mean to host this conference?
The last CHOGM, actually, Australia organized, it was 2002 in Coolum. Now the CHOGM has become an important kind of global event. One, the Commonwealth itself has changed. It now has 54 Commonwealth countries, are all democracies, and they are market economies, and they are net contributors to the global economy. So the people who are coming here from Africa, from Asia, from others, small or big countries, are coming as market economies looking for investment partnerships and contributing to the global debate.
And looking at the agenda and looking at the calendar of events at CHOGM, it strikes me that many of those countries you talk of are emerging markets, on the Australian side, obviously, there is great wealth of resources. And to some extent, CHOGM is mapped almost as a nexus between the Australian resources power, if you like, the Australian resources industry, and these emerging markets. Probably one of the most healthy areas of the world economy. Is that a new dimension of CHOGM, and how is it playing out?
CHOGM is a lot of expectations from countries which are looking towards Australian experience in terms of how did Australia do well in the financial crisis, and Australian experiences in the resources. I can assure you, every head of the state who is coming from Africa, who are looking for expertise in mining and resources, are coming with an agenda and expecting some kind of partnerships with Australia.
And tell us, within that then, within the African region and the links with the Australian resources sector, there's obviously links in coal, base metals. Where will it go from here? Which countries are the links most intense?
I would say Zambia is in copper and looking for kind of partnerships in copper, more extended one. Iron ore and coal, Mozambique. We have Tanzania. President told me he's coming with a large delegation for mining in gold. And we have Ghana again in coal and iron ore. We have a Nigerian president who is saying that his country in the north have not been exploited or explored in the mining sector because it's an oil and gas economy.
Excellent. So it's a very clear, specific opportunity on the resources side, and of course it's been held in Perth, which is very much the resources state. Now on the wider agenda, the CHOGM meets in the context of intense global volatility around issues of sovereign debt and perhaps even bank debt. It also meets at a time of optimism around carbon progress on the carbon price. What might we expect on the agenda that might be achieved at CHOGM?
I think that two areas which are likely to have extended discussion and try to reach consensus. One is the whole idea of climate change and environment within the carbon tax. One would expect a consensus and development, and that's how the CHOGM works. They try to get a consensus overnight. The second area would be more on trade and trade, because I think there is a tendency to be protectionist at this time of the crisis, but I think CHOGM will come with a voice saying that we should have more open trade.
Is there anything specifically you're concerned about on the protectionist front?
I think the whole area of, we would like to have a WTO round to be concluded soon. You
are specifically charged with the Commonwealth Business Forum, which is exclusively a business enterprise. And what do you hope to achieve with the forum, which is on in the 3 preceding days of CHOGM itself?
We expect that actual business will be conducted during those 3 days. About 20 heads of government who are coming to CHOGM will participate in the forum, and we expect the business leaders from Australia and visiting countries from India, from Africa, from Canada, from UK, to be engaged in business discussion.
Dr. Mohan Kyle, thank you very much for talking to Business Spectator.
Welcome.